welcome back to my channel. It's a horse thing. Today I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit more different than I usually do. I decided, with all the questions I've been getting recently in my comments, I decided I'm going to do 2 material videos, one for my repaints, one for my tack. So in this specific one, if you have not already guessed by the title of the video, it's going to be more tailored to my repaints. So there's a lot to cover, so I apologize if this does end up being a longer video. However, every material is important, so if you are looking to do this as a hobby, I recommend you do watch the whole thing. Thank you guys, and let's get into the video. Okay, first up, probably one of the most important things is your paint. So I know a lot of people who use very cheap paint, and not gonna lie, I did too for my first few repaints, but I have noticed the higher quality paint, of course, the better it's gonna be. If it's literally like your first repaint, don't go out and buy $10 Liquitex paint. Just get some 50-cent Apple Barrel stuff for the first few and then you're good to go. Liquitex, I did get these on sale, so these were $5 at Hobby Lobby. However, Liquitex is an amazing paint brand. I have used it for a lot of my repaints over here, including my most recent custom that I showed you guys. Well, showed you guys as of right now, which is her. I used Liquitex for her. However, if you are using Liquitex, it is a thicker paint, especially I use heavy body acrylics as well by Master's Touch, which is like Hobby Lobby's brand. So if you are gonna do that, please use water and thin it down. The biggest pet peeve of mine is when you are using paint and you don't thin it out, you can see the brush strokes, and it's just, if you're going for something realistic, it's really not the best idea. Please thin your paint out with water. You don't need paint thinner, just use water. So yeah, I use Liquitex, and then I like custom make colors and put them in these little tiny containers. I also use, what are these? Crafts for All is what this says. I have a whole little container of this stuff right here. I use that for the rainbow bows on my repaint, my most recent one, and then also for eye colors. So I have my green, I have my blue. You don't need this specific one, of course. I don't have it over here with me, but I have some Craft Smart and some Apple Barrel in the little containers, and you know, whatever works. I think it's Craft Smart too. I use metallic paint for my horseshoes, and yeah, I mean, that works pretty well too. I'm looking for something specific and I can't find it. Okay, I just went ahead and got the whole bucket because, yeah. So this is Master's Touch. I have a lot of Master's Touch. I have a ton of Liquitex. This is Craft Smart, except that's not what I was talking about. Yeah, this is Craft Smart, so this is metallic. This is what I do. Who did I do horseshoes on? These are the horseshoes that I've been talking about that I do. And then, also very important, I have also been asked how I get the shine on the eyes, nostrils, hooves, etc. So I actually really need to find more of this because I kind of spilled it all on the carpet. And now it's kind of crunchy, but I use Duraclear gloss varnish, and please, if you use a gloss varnish, do not use your paintbrush. It gets stiff. Like, I don't think I have it over here with me. Like, I would use a little tiny paintbrush like this, right? And I would use it for the gloss varnish, and then it's so stiff you can't use it as a paintbrush anymore. So if you do make that mistake, make sure it's always the same paintbrush. Yeah, so I think that basically covers paint. I mean, I just have a whole bunch of colors. This doesn't even include everything that I have over here. You know, it just, your paint collection grows as you grow as a painter. Also, very, very important, and I don't think I really need to talk about this too much, but your paintbrushes. I have way more over there, and I have way more over here. Your paintbrushes are very, very important. Please get, these were like, I got a pack of 20 of these for like $10 off Amazon. You don't need to go out and buy a paintbrush one paintbrush is $5. You don't have to do that. Just get something that's decent quality, like this, or these, or this, something that you can tell is decent quality, so the brush, what do you want to call it, brush hairs, I guess, are thick and nice, and they have different widths. So like this one's bigger and this one's smaller. And then I recently had to go and buy more detail brushes. That's actually a big one. Hold on. I have this small paintbrush. I have this small paintbrush. That's for a lot more of the detail work. So I'll use it for markings, herring, horseshoes, eyes, mane when I want I need precise things for the mane. Also more of the bows if the horse does have that. Hooves need to be very, very precise. Also, if you do your hooves, please make it multiple colors, not one single color. This will all be in my repaint tutorial, but please, not one single color. Yeah, so just really quick before I get into probably the most important part of this video, I'm just gonna show you guys really quick. I use, why is the cap not on it? Anyway, I use Rust-Oleum matte, don't get gloss, don't get semi-gloss, matte clear, and you use this. I figured that the farther away you are when you're spraying the horse, the less shiny it is. Like if you're 6 inches, a foot from, yeah, 6 inches, 10 inches away from the horse. Sorry for those of you guys who use centimeters, I'm not good with that, just look it up. If you're really, really close to the horse, it's still gonna look like you used gloss, even if it's still matte. So just keep a good distance, like this distance, shoulder width, I guess, is good when you're spraying the horse. And don't use a ton of it. You just need a spritz, a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. You don't need to douse the horse. This is leading up to what I'm doing. Please, when you're doing this next step, use disposable gloves, please, and I will explain why. So yeah, the most important part of this whole video is pastels for shading. All right, I'm not going to be super well at explaining this, but I will go much more in depth on my repaint tutorial itself. So I use pan pastel, or I'll get chalk pastels and I'll grind them. I have this kitchen thing, so when I say I grind them, I'll take a pastel and I'll grind it on the top like that, and it'll make it really, really thin, and I can use it as powder. Or you can just buy pan pastel, which is like this. They come in these little containers, which this one has stuff all over it because I'm not good at keeping my workspace clean. More pan pastel. I have some brown. I have white that's slowly turning gray. I have gray. All this, and I just like this because you want to adjust the color to your specific horse, not just the simple basic colors. So you want, I recommend makeup brushes when you're applying this to the horse. Makeup brushes work really, really well, surprisingly. So let me see if I can explain. Let me get a makeup brush. Okay, so here's my makeup brush. You see, it's like it's super puffy. This one is dedicated specially to my brown. Please get one makeup brush for each color. If you start combining colors, you're gonna try and use one color and it's gonna show up as a different color. So just use one color, and you just wanna, don't do this, don't do that, up and down like this, all over the horse with the pastel. And you don't need a ton of pastel, just up and down motions. Don't do this because then it gets grainy. And if you want to experiment with that, you'll know what I mean when I say grainy. It doesn't look good. That's why you want to use these, because your fingers have natural oil on them that if you touch the pastel, or like basically even touch the horse, you will mess it up somehow. And it will get grainy and it will not look good, and it'll have like your fingerprint on it. Even if you think you're fine, it's probably not going to turn out fine because you're going to spray it and then it's going to really show up what's wrong with the horse. So pastels are super overlooked. Please just invest in some sort of pastel. You will not regret it. And a lot of people get pasteling wrong, so I'm just going to go ahead and say this for those of you guys who are new and waiting for my repaint tutorial. Shading is not here. It's not there. It's on the back, and it goes down the center right there. It goes on the shoulder. It goes on the top of the neck. It goes on the eyes, and sometimes the muzzle, depending on the horse color. You also want it you can kind of see it right there. I did it on the joint of the knee right there. But yeah, you see how that's a different color than that? Or up here? Yeah, that's because of the shading. So yeah, that, I just got stuff on the horse. See, because I was touching pastel. Thankfully she's done and that's not going to be a big issue. But yeah, go down here, go across the back, go across the neck, do the eyes. I do a little bit on the tips of the ears too. Go down that way, underneath the horse too, underneath. The joints right there. That's really where you want to use it. Remember, it's not in between this. That, if you look at horse pictures, that's usually the lightest part of the horse. Don't worry, I did the same thing. I just learned from my mistakes. This is usually one of the lightest parts of the horse, surprisingly. Now, this is optional, but I still want you guys to see this anyway, because I know somewhere down the road you guys are gonna be like, I want to customize a horse. Okay? Epoxy sculpt. I actually need to get more of this pretty bad. These are really, really small containers. You get a part A and a part B. I want to make sure I wasn't mixing them up. And you use equal parts of both, mix them together, wait like 5 minutes so the chemical reactions can finish. If you try to sculpt while the reaction is still going, you're not really going to get good results. So just please wait the 5 minutes. And then use water. Don't waterlog it. You'll know when it's waterlogged. You like can't sculpt it anymore. But use some water and get your little details in. Don't use air dry clay. Air dry clay cracks, breaks, all this. This is very sturdy. This does not crack. It is like so easy to get it seamless on the horse. Let me see if I actually have a resculpted horse over here. This one's resculpted. This is like my pride and joy. This horse is like completely resculpted. The whole neck, you see, completely seamless. Completely seamless. That's with epoxy. And this was a fairly new investment. So, okay, I can't hold this for very long. So my birthday was April 29th, if you guys don't know that. I didn't post anything about it because I had like just started my channel and I didn't want to be weird and be like, hey guys, it's my birthday. But my sister got me this for my, I keep spilling water everywhere. And basically you have this, and you press the button and the water drains and then it'll come back with clean water. It's amazing. As someone who is like too lazy to go empty out my container, or I would ruin so many paintbrushes because I just wouldn't get a cup of water and then I just leave them there and I would forget to go rinse them. This has saved my paintbrushes. I love it. It was like $8. It was pretty good. Alright guys, and really quickly I'm just gonna go over models, which I know I'll probably make a whole other video on why I think some models are better than other models. But so this is a Collecta horse. Collectas tend to have a lot more detail in them, a lot more muscle structure, and overall it just looks much better. They'll have like more depth in their mane and tail. Yeah, just a lot more detail, a lot more facial detail and stuff like this. Schleich, not older Schleich. Older Schleich look great. That's why I buy all my lots that are put over there. I think there's roughly like 60 horses over there right now. But like newer Schleich, I repainted this one by the way, but they look like a cute horse. They're not. For someone who's going for realism, use Collecta. Even Safari LTD are better. I really, really want to buy some WIA models because I have heard amazing things about them. That's kind of all I have to say on models. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please click the subscribe button down below, click the like button, leave a comment, and leave a video suggestion if you have any. Remember, pastels, thin your paint, keep your matte spray far away enough. Just take your time. If you rush it, I know you're impatient and excited to finish a horse. Please just take your time. You will not regret it. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I really hope I'll see you guys in my next video. So I do have a repaint tutorial coming out soon. I've said that a lot. I will be posting a tack video. I might even go ahead and film that right now. And I might do a blanket tutorial, a saddle pad tutorial, and yeah, a repaint tutorial. I'll probably have like one for simple ones for detailed markings, a dapple, you know, all that stuff. Whatever you guys want to see, just let me know down below. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.